Willow Creek was a quiet town tucked away in the heart of the Midwest, where everyone knew everyone else, and secrets were supposed to be impossible to keep. But like every old town, Willow Creek had its forgotten corners, and one such place was the old Hargrove Estate on the edge of town. The Hargrove Estate had been abandoned for more than 30 years. No one remembered exactly why the family left, or why they'd fled in the middle of the night, leaving behind furniture, clothes, and photographs gathering dust. Some said the Hargroves were cursed. Others whispered of dark dealings in the basement. Most simply avoided the place. That changed when Sarah, a newly hired property manager for Willow Creek's Homeowners Association, was told to inspect the house. It was scheduled for renovation. The HOA wanted to turn it into a community center. Sarah, who had only moved to Willow Creek 6 months ago, thought it was a simple assignment. She was wrong. On a cold, rainy morning, she arrived at the estate. The iron gates creaked as she pushed them open. The house loomed ahead, 3 stories of peeling paint, broken windows, and sagging balconies. Its presence felt heavy, like it was watching her. As Sarah stepped onto the porch, the boards groaned under her weight. She unlocked the front door and entered. The smell of mildew and old would hit her instantly. "Just a quick inspection," she muttered. "Take some pictures, write a report, and get out." The inside was worse than the outside. Dust coated every surface. Old furniture stood where the Hargroves had left it, covered in white sheets. Portraits of unsmiling ancestors stared from the walls. But what caught Sarah's eye was the door at the end of the hallway, a heavy wooden door with a large brass handle. It was half open. Curious, she walked toward it. The basement. Steeling herself, Sarah descended the creaking stairs. The basement was colder than the rest of the house. Dampness clung to the walls, and something faintly metallic lingered in the air, like rust or old blood. Her flashlight beam swept across shelves of canned food, tools, and boxes. And then she saw it, a wooden door in the basement wall, smaller than a normal door, almost hidden behind a pile of crates. Frowning, Sarah pushed the crates aside. The door was locked with an iron latch. She tugged, it wouldn't budge. But there was a small keyhole. Suddenly, she heard something. A faint whisper. She froze. The whisper came again, soft, like a breath in the dark. "Sarah?" she gasped. How did it know her name? Whipping around, she saw no one. Heart pounding, she backed away from the door. The whisper came again, this time more urgent. "Help me." Frightened, Sarah ran up the stairs and slammed the basement door shut. She leaned against it, breathing hard. What was that? Trying to calm herself, she explored the rest of the house. But everywhere she went, she felt eyes watching her. From the cracked mirrors, the shadowed corners, the ancient portraits. As she entered what looked like a study, she found a dusty desk. Inside, under a stack of old papers, was a small iron key. Her hands trembled. The key was cold, far too cold, as if it had just come from ice. Was this for the basement door? Against her better judgment, Sarah returned to the basement. The whispering began as soon as her foot touched the bottom step. "Sarah, please." It was clearer now. Desperate. Shaking, she approached the hidden door and fitted the key into the lock. Click. The door creaked open, revealing a narrow tunnel, descending deeper into darkness. A blast of icy air hit her face, and from the depths something moved. Sarah's flashlight flickered as she stared into the dark tunnel. The cold wind that blew from it smelled of earth and decay. She hesitated. Common sense screamed at her to leave, to get out of this house and never return. But curiosity and the whispers pulled her forward. Step by cautious step, Sarah entered the tunnel. The walls closed in, rough stones scraping her shoulders. The floor sloped downward, deeper and deeper beneath the house. The whispers grew louder. "Help me, trapped so long." Suddenly the tunnel opened into a small chamber. Her light revealed iron bars set into the stone, a cell. And inside that cell, crouched in the corner, was a man. Or what was left of one. His clothes were ragged, his hair matted and gray, his face pale and sunken, but his eyes glowed faintly blue. Sarah gasped. "Who are you?" The man raised his head, his voice barely more than a whisper. "Please help me. I've been trapped here for so long since the Hargroves left." "But that was 30 years ago," Sarah said, horrified. He nodded. "They locked me here. I was the caretaker. I discovered their secret. The Hargroves made a bargain with something dark in exchange for wealth. When I tried to stop them, they sealed me down here, cursed, unable to die." Sarah felt the blood drain from her face. "Break the curse," he said, "and free me. Destroy the talisman they left behind in the attic." A sudden rumble shook the tunnel. The whispers turned into a chorus of angry voices. "Don't listen to him. Liar. Betrayer." Sarah spun around. Shadows gathered at the tunnel entrance, swirling into shapes. The faces of the Hargroves, their eyes hollow and burning. "You will stay here forever," they hissed. Terrified, Sarah ran, past the shadows, back into the basement, up the stairs, the voices shrieking behind her. She reached the attic door and yanked it open. Cobwebs choked the space, but in the center lay a small box. Inside was a black stone talisman, carved with strange symbols. The whispers screamed in rage. "Don't touch it." But Sarah grabbed the talisman and threw it to the floor, smashing it with her flashlight. The house shook violently. The walls cracked. Dust filled the air. In the basement, the man let out a cry of relief, not pain. "I'm free." The shadows shrieked and faded, their forms dissolving into smoke. As the house crumbled, Sarah ran outside, gasping for breath. Behind her, the old estate groaned and collapsed into itself, a cloud of dust rising into the sky. It was over, or so she thought. That night, as she lay in bed, a faint whisper drifted into her ear. "Thank you, Sarah." But then another voice. Cold. Familiar. "See you soon." Sarah sat up, heart pounding. In the corner of her room, just for a moment, she saw a shadow flicker. The Hargroves were not gone. Not entirely. And they had remembered her name.